I've always known that he was in 2 other relationships. One with his mom and the other his career.
He needs to be closer to God so he can understand what order means in a marriage.
But in terms of a man's purpose, purpose comes first, baby. And the worst place that you can be is between a man and his purpose. The worst thing you can do is make a man choose between you and his purpose.
The audacity of you coming up here on some Savannah shit.
Oh.
Like, I don't really got no problems for real. I don't miss no meals or no bills. But
Because I don't want no one to use this against nobody. But women, we show up as friends, as mothers, as wives, as everything else. We show up. Hold on, AC, because I know you finna take it there.
What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Chanel Shante Swevin. My husband and I have been together for 15 years. He's the epitome of the saying, he's a good man, Savannah. However, I've always known that he was in 2 other relationships. One with his mom and the other his career.
You know what you did right there. Keep going, girl, but you know what you did. I like that.
He prioritizes and considers them without question, while I've proven my position and still feel like I'm in second place most times. How can I get him to always treat me like I'm number 1 without taking away from his other loves?
You can't get him to do nothing. Only God can. He needs to be closer to God so he can understand what order means in a marriage. The most that you can do, baby, and I know some of y'all ain't at that level that I'm at, and I get it. Some of y'all feel like I get a little too religious. Cover your ears, I don't care. I don't got nothing to do with that. But it's gonna be God who restores order. And sometimes we have to release the control that we have over certain situations and just trust God. God, when men specifically, men need to learn how to submit to God so God can be in communion with them. Men need to know what it feels like and to understand what it means to be after God's heart so they can get the wisdom. And a lot of times for you as wife, you're going to have to go up in that closet, baby, and pray over your husband in that situation. Not that God changes the situation, but that God opens up your husband's eyes and understand what God has for your husband and your marriage. Because when
I'm not mad at that advice opposed to her telling her to complain more. You know, you already chose the man. He's a good man. I hear a little bit of selfishness from her side, even to say something like that, to say that his purpose and his mom. I understand how a mother's boy could be somewhat of a problem, but most women would want that their man to have a good mother or, you know, parental figure that they actually care about. That would show that he cares about a woman. So I'm pretty sure he's taking care of you if he take care of his mom.
people have lived a life of always prioritizing their mother. A lot of times people feel guilt because they've been trained to be a mama's boy, to take care of mama. They've been trained to provide, so they say, I gotta take care of the career. And they don't understand the significance and the importance of the rib. And so it's for you to go to God and say, God, I need you to sanctify this marriage. Rededicate your marriage to God. I need you to sanctify it. Cleanse out the things that need to be cleansed. Prune it, Lord, so that way my husband can see me as his equal half and not everything else in his life. But we got to learn how to release. I can say this, and I love my husband, baby, don't get mad at me, but I can say this. My husband in the beginning was very much so a mama's boy. He was. And I had to pray to God. I talked to my husband and he received me, but I had to pray to God to open my husband's heart to receive the words that I have for him, to understand what our union is. And God did that very thing, but I trusted God because God is a God of his promises. So I knew that whatever God had for me was going to be for me. And he opened my husband's eyes. And my husband saw that, you know what, just because I prioritize my wife doesn't mean that I love my mama less. I still love her.
I need context to see exactly what he's doing in a relationship to make her feel like that. Because if he's just spending a little bit of time here and there with his mama, is that much of a problem? We need more context to see if it's as bad as it seems for her to even ask the question in a public audience like this.
But this is the woman that I'm supposed to protect, that I'm supposed to shield. I am this woman's covering. And so a lot of times you just have to ask God for that understanding and to reveal that to him.
Okay.
Yeah, top it up.
That sounds good. But
I say this too, man. I think you got to be careful the mama angle, I 100% agree. But in terms of a man's purpose, the purpose comes first, baby. And the worst place that you can be is between a man and his purpose. The worst thing you can do is make a man choose between you and his purpose.
Because it's going to be some resentment going on. I'm telling, if he chooses you and he lets the purpose go, he's going to resent you because guess what? You still going to be a bill. Don't get me wrong. You still my wife. I chose you. We appreciate each other. I love you. But guess what? If I can't do the things I need to do to make sure the lifestyle is right, you going to get stressed out and frustrated now.
About it.
I think that a lot of women lose sight of what brought you to that man in the first place. A lot of women aspire for a lot of things, right? I want a successful man. I want a certain lifestyle. I want to fly a certain way. I want to drive a certain way. I want to live a certain way. But a lot of women are not willing to sacrifice the time that it takes for that man to create that environment for you.
That's real.
It was the good man Savannah for me, bro. She came up here with the good man Savannah. It was like, listen, he loved his mom and his job, and I'm trying to be number one. From a mathematics perspective, he probably got less time with his mom than he gonna have with you over the next 2025. So let him lock in with his mom. And then, like you said, you like the Fendi, you like the YSL, right? You like the lobster tail, you like the butterfly, you like Kiki on the river, you like Aruba, you like Turks now. This shit is expensive. The revolution must be funded. You look great, okay?
She look like she expensive as well.
Great. You got some good shit going. The audacity of you coming up here on some Savannah shit.
Oh.
Like, I don't really got no problems for real. I don't miss no meals or no bills. But
I hold my own too. I know that's right.
Hey, it's your
I know that's right.
you know, I think
wait, hold on. Can I ask a question? Important question.
Sorry. It's my birthday.
You said your husband is a good man, Savannah.
He is. But
Savannah's
married.
hold
Don't
on.
forget that.
Your husband ain't here, is he?
He was question number one.
He was question number one. Look, yeah.
Are they apart?
I liked him already.
Are they apart just so they can ask questions without people knowing that they married? It's a little strange.
I like them already. Yes, I love
it together. Y'all gonna stick this
out. I like this guy. I like this. All right, I appreciate it.
People problems.
But I have a question. Since your husband stood up, do you see your wife as your purpose? Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, well then y'all on the right track, baby. Y'all getting there.
I want to add, because I love the thought that you were going on. And I never thought in a million years I'll be quoting Mr. Let Go on stage.
I love it.
I just never thought I would be quoting Mr. Let Go. But Mr. Let Go talks about a bus. And he says, picking a man for a woman, because you get to choose the man, you need to see what the bus route is. And is this bus going in the area in which you want to go? Your job ain't to necessarily change this man's vision or purpose. It is to see what this man's purpose is and say, does this fit where I want to go in my life?
A lot of people end up changing somebody's purpose and steer it in the wrong direction. And now we on a side quest from the actual mission. We done took a wrong turn. And now we in a village of mutated monsters trying to kill us now. See, that's why I'm saying you have to understand who you with from the very beginning. And if it's a good path, continue on it. Why are you trying to rattle things up? For what reason? You already knew he enjoyed his mama probably in the very beginning. You probably liked that about him. You saw him being a family man or appreciated how he took care of his mother. Was like, oh, I like that energy that he gives to me as well. And I really would like to know how chaotic it is.
And here's the thing, and I'm not talking about y'all because y'all seem to be loving and fun. I like this. So this is not to y'all. This is to people that may not be in a series of a relationship as marriage. This might be dating. Sometimes what we have to do is love a person enough to know this is our stop. Like, sometimes you're not riding that same bus forever. But what we do is, because we fall in love with this particular bus, we want to try to change its route. And that's where we get into the conversation that you're talking about.
Yeah, and just to add to it, bro, like I done seen it's a lot of men right now who are divorced because they took their eyes off their purpose
to
spend more time with their woman, and their woman lost interest in them.
Facts.
Because the same things that drove her to him, that discipline, that focus, he just locked in. He always take care of business and all of these things. And he said, you know what? I'm gonna put my purpose on the back burner and I'm gonna spend more time with you. I'm gonna lay up under you. You wanna be in my skin. Okay, cool. Let's do that. I'm gonna take all these out. So now we gotta downgrade houses now. Now instead of 2 cars, we got 1 car.
Facts.
Now instead of us going on 3-4 trips a year, we going on 1 every 2. So because that lifestyle changed so much, like as a woman, she didn't even realize that you was turning that man into a man that you are not interested in. So that's why I say be careful. And just like bro saying, choose a purpose that you can relate to. Choose a purpose that you can handle.
And it's gonna happen. He's spitting facts. It's gonna happen. Usually what the women are drawn to is not what they want you to be in the end. Eventually they're gonna try and change you. They're going to implement their own structure and say, oh, you should do this more, be like this more. And that's all fine and dandy. Here's the thing about it. If you were a woman that you actually love, you're going to do some of those things. That's why I wonder how much control is actually in play right now, to where it's not even about just bending a little bit or the structure is really damaging. I think it's more about being selfish and you just want a little too much, because it seems like they're living a good life because she came out and said he's a good man.
But I'm going to add this part. And I'm speaking. Ladies, I know we're going to have disagreement on this one because I'm going to speak from my perspective as a man. And I got a little taste of it earlier this year. As much as I want to sit here and say I'm the same motherfucker no matter what environment I'm in, that's a motherfucking lie. When shit was shaky, it was hard for me to show up like my normal self, bro. It was, man. It was hard as fuck. And now I'm starting to feel like my normal self, getting back to what I love to do, getting back in front of people, getting back to doing this. And it's like the type of person I am when I'm not doing something with my hands, figuring out a person may not be a person you like or respect. And I get it, right? You shouldn't let external factors, but bullshit, man. Bullshit, because some you said you are confident in your own right too, and you got a lot of things going on. All those things make you who you are. They contribute to your overall well-being and how you can show up to the world. And when you knock one leg down, that man may not be a man you like.
That's true.
I agree.
That's real.
I do agree with that. And I think that there's a balancing as well. There's a balancing act, because there's a valid point to the fact that my purpose is something that God ordained me to do. And you are not allowed to get in the way of that. And then there's another balance of sometimes people escape the truth of who they are in their work. Sometimes people escape their emotions and the things that they don't want to acknowledge in their work. And so that has to also be scrutinized and acknowledged. It doesn't mean force or dictate for him to stop working as hard to please you, because again, you will have to show up and nurture his vision as well, just as much as you would want him to nurture yours. But what my point really wanted to be was, when you are in a relationship, remember that the relationship is designed to help you see and nurture and become wise in certain areas of yourself that you may be blind to. So the fact that he has his attention in other areas is obviously bringing up something within you. It's your job to figure out what that is. And a lot of times when a man has a relationship with his mom, or when a man has a relationship with his work, the woman doesn't feel chosen, which also brings up a lot of father issues. It brings up a lot of issues from childhood. So there can be a lot of focus on him and what he's doing, but there has to be balance on your end too, and taking accountability to acknowledge what is surfacing within me. Why don't I feel chosen? He wasn't the first person that didn't make you feel chosen. A lot of times there's a lot of people in our childhood who do not choose us, who do not love us properly, who do not show up for us. And this is the trigger. And a lot of times we will focus on the emotional trigger and the person who is triggering us, but we won't go back to the root of where the trigger first began. And I guarantee when you start doing your healing work, that's when all of the energy starts to loosen up. That's when he starts to see certain things. That's the metaphysical aspect of healing. When you evolve on a certain frequency, everybody else has to evolve on that frequency too. So if you start doing your internal work,
your external world will start to reflect that.
Kitty, why you keep making these faces? What did I say? What did we say
I think
wrong?
she's right.
Because you,
She ready
I'm
to
not
tussle.
mad at it.
Go ahead. You ready to tussle?
Ready to
In the front
tussle.
room. Okay, let's do it.
I know we out of time, and I'm not gonna get too deep.
Go ahead.
But I don't understand why we are making such a separation. We're talking about marriage. This is your purpose outside of the other things that you have to do. This is still your purpose. Jesus was still able to perform his ministry and still serve everybody. We are
We are not in the same time period as Jesus was, and we can't act like it is. Depending on what type of craft that you are in today, you are going to be stretched a whole lot thinner, possibly. While your woman is asking for things that's not realistic as the world used to be. So let's hear a spiel first.
made in the image of God. It is through Christ Jesus that gives us the strength where we find our strength. So why is it that we cannot go and get this strength to be able to still show up in my marriage, still show up in my business, still show up with my kids and everything else? Because, and I don't want to make this a gender thing because I don't want no one to use this against nobody. But women, we show up as friends, as mothers, as wives, as everything else. We show up and we...
She ain't mentioned provider, though. You didn't mention provider. You said mother, but you didn't mention provider. You didn't say how much, the woman is going out there actually getting the bacon opposed to the guy is. Usually most of the guys in the relationship are making majority of the money. The women are still working too, but it's a whole lot different. And whose money is being spent more as well.
Still serve our husbands. Hold on, AC, because I know you finna take it there. But marriage is still a part of your purpose. Let's not forget that when you have a wife, that's where your favor comes from to begin with. So even in the purpose that you have with this business and everything else, you should still be able to prioritize your wife. Your wife is not a threat to your purpose. The problem is you have not been able to find balance in what you do. You've prioritized and tried to compartmentalize things, bring it together. Your wife can
crazy.
advance the things that you have. Prioritize your wife because then she can nurture and feed you and pour and invest into you so you can show up better in your life, so you can show up better in your business. I don't understand this conversation. I don't get that. And that's the reason why so many women feel like they are being neglected in their marriages because y'all prioritize your careers. You laid down and made vows in front of God and said you were going to take care of his daughter. So if that is the case, then make sure you take care of your wife while you are still doing this, because I guarantee you when you no longer have that career, guess who's still going to be behind you? Guess who's still going to be behind you?
That don't always work out like that. She's already being taken care of. I don't think she's in a situation to where she's not. Look at her looking at her husband. Look at her. I hope you listening to that right there, okay? Don't give me that stare down, because you could be asking for too much. You could be asking for things that's outside of the normal. They look like they live good lives. I'm really curious. See, the same way we talk about his wife, what about his mom? I'm not saying that he's supposed to be a mama's boy. His mama has her own life, but let's say certain situations happen to where things played out to where she has nobody. It's both of y'all duty now to pick up that slack. Y'all a unit. Y'all a family. So I hear a lot of selfishness, and I don't think we got enough context to really determine exactly what the reasons are. But I think selfishness has come and taken plague of some of the mindsets of, and I'm not just saying women, but people sometimes asking for certain things. I think we can ask for a little too much without giving grace to how people naturally are. And to have a guy, and see, this is where we don't even look at the pros and cons of just people and the way how they act. I think it's still a beautiful thing for someone to have a purpose and a passion that keeps them driven and actually wanting to do better for their families. I'm pretty sure what he's working on is helping put more into the family's pockets. Her, the kids, if they have kids or whatnot. I just don't. I see that this. It's like a power struggle now. It's a power struggle for, I want to be prioritized. How do you want to be prioritized? Please, I wish we could have more explanation as to how the structure is set up between the mama, the wife, and the purpose. Because, you still got to work to eat. You still have to work to live. Like, there is no situation where, even if we were in the regular job market, if you have to grow crops, go prepare water, build shelter, that takes time, energy. I can't prioritize you in all these, I want to do these dates. I want to go out to dinner dates. I want to go to the movies all the time. I want you to buy these things and put them on my doorstep. I already got you. Why do I have to keep doing this goofy stuff? Now, granted, if we just happen to share these moments together and we go out and have a good time, cool. But I just still don't understand sometimes all these little random acts of love when you're actually showing someone that you love them. And the way how you mean to do it, I have to keep spending money. The same thing you trying to take me from. It doesn't make sense. You'll pull a man from making money to make him spend more money. And I'm talking about the women that do this. I'm not talking about all women. For the women who understand and get it and understand that your man gonna have his time and space, and then when he makes time, that's cool. But we gotta be smart, intelligent people to say like, hey, maybe I'm the problem a little bit, you know? And I know Kitty, she just made her little spill, made the crowd go wild. Ooh. But I still agree with, I forgot what his name is, but I agree with the brother with the beard way more than her side of it. Because if you start, let's say things don't work out well, the brother, way how the still is right here between him and the crowd and her looking at him is hilarious. He looking like, fuck. And she just looking like, I hope you hear that. But these dynamics is crazy, man. I'll have this link in the description if y'all watch it in its entirety. This was at the end of it, so you can only just watch it from the very beginning. Make sure y'all like the video, comment below. This is JayBReacts. Until next time, y'all. Peace.